You're listening to MicroPROgressions, FIT writing and speaking studio tutors on thinking and thriving. Hi, I'm William. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a senior film student at FIT, and I'm a writing tutor at the writing and speaking studio.
Hi, I'm Kathy. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm an AMC major, and I am a writing and speaking tutor at the writing and speaking studio.
So, Kathy, how are you feeling today?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. I got vaccinated this morning.
Yo!
Yes. So my arm hurts a lot, but I'm in a good mood. So I'm doing well. How are you?
No, that's so great to hear. I actually got vaccinated this weekend too, actually.
Yes.
So yeah, look at us. Dang. But
yes.
But yeah, no, I feel you about the arm pain, but it like disappears pretty fast. So that's good. So the topic for today's episode is procrastination and trying to find the motivation to avoid that and get work done on time. So Kathy, would you consider yourself a procrastinator?
So I used to be. Now not so much. But I feel like now I'm finally doing work that I'm actually really passionate about and that I find fun and entertaining. So I don't really find myself procrastinating. But to be fair, I have a paper due on Wednesday and I haven't started either. So
And this is being recorded on Monday.
yeah, exactly. So sometimes it depends on like what it is, you know?
Can you tell me more a little bit about like the work that you're doing now that you feel more passionate about and feel more incentivized to do versus work that you don't really feel any passion for?
I realize that I'm very passionate and motivated to work if there's like an incentive for me, you know? So for example, I now have an internship and I do a lot of graphic design, it was always my dream to do that. Like I always just wanted to get paid for making art and being creative and things like that. So and also like I'm getting paid. Like that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like when it's like 11 o'clock at night, I'm like, you know what, I have to work on this. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready, you know. But when it comes to papers, I can't. I don't know what it is. Like writing's not even that bad, but it's like maybe it's because I've written so many papers throughout my life. I'm like, is another one really gonna like make me into like a more defined, better human being? I don't really know.
You know, I think at this point in our lives, that's a very valid thought and concern to have about like, you know, what work are we doing now that will actually have like an impact later on, I guess. So, well, and first off, congratulations. That's great to hear. You know, it's hard to come by an internship that you care about, but it's even hard to find one that pays you as well. So,
yes,
so that's great.
You're right. What about you, Will? How do you feel about that? Like procrastinating?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest. I'm a huge procrastinator, even for things that I feel passionate about sometimes. You know, I think in the moment it's very easy to just have all your ideas flow in your brain, but then it becomes like a jumbled mess of ideas that you don't really want to put down on paper because, you know, as I said, it's a mess. So, you know, I think there's like more steps I need to like compartmentalize these ideas and stuff and really just like try to force that motivation out of me.
Right. I feel like that's such a good point because I never really been the person to think that like procrastination is due to laziness. I feel like it's a lot of the times just due to being overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I like your idea of just like splitting it up in your brain and not feeling so like overwhelmed. Like I have an idea here and I have an idea there and I just don't know where to start. There's like no middle beginning and end, you know, but you have to like make it in your brain, I guess.
Are there any memorable times when you felt like you had too many things to do all at once? And if so, like how did you manage all that?
So, great question. All I have to say is midterms and finals week. That's all I have to say about that. And every student knows about that whole thing. Usually what I do is just stay stressed and wait for it to be over. I'm sorry. This is like not good advice.
No,
But
but I appreciate the honesty.
yeah, I just feel like we have to be honest because, like we are students and we know the deal. Like we do it every semester. But first of all, I just need to give thanks and grace to all of the professors that are like, I know you guys are going to be working on a lot of things during finals week, so let's do it like the week or 2 weeks before finals week, and then we'll just be chill, like stuff like that. Like I always appreciate that, and that happens sometimes during finals week, but for the most part, uh, I just I guess you could say I just kind of like make a schedule up in my mind. Like I bring out that Google Calendar and I'm just like I'm going to work on this day at this time, this on this day at this time, etc. Granted, it doesn't always end up working out like that because sometimes my brain is so fried and I just can't work on anything anymore. But I always end up getting it done anyways, even if I have to like lose an hour of sleep the night before it's due or something like that. But that's just kind of like the name of the game when you have so many assignments due at the same time, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Do you ever feel like the quality of your work is sacrificed because of procrastinating and stuff like that?
Yeah, especially when there's like a very, very tight deadline. For example, I had a midterm, it was like a modern art midterm. I couldn't end up writing what I wanted to write down on paper simply because I just didn't have enough time. Like sometimes you need to think more and really develop your ideas before you put it down on paper, which I'm sure you know about as a writing tutor.
Mhm.
So sometimes that kind of happens and then it's kind of disappointing, but then you know there's really nothing you can do other than talk to the professor and be like, hey, can I have an extension? And if they say yes, then you're good to go.
Yeah, and I think with stuff like that, it comes with like time and practice as well.
Hmm.
Even if it's something that's like infrequent, like a midterm test or whatever, like you already have the
Hmm.
previous experience of going through that, and I think we really do just inherently learn from moments like that. And I mean, if there's anything that pushes me, it's shame and fear of failure.
Yes,
so
me too.
so I mean that also helps me, especially when I know it's like, oh, past William really set myself up right now to like feel all this, huh?
Yeah, especially like disappointment too, that always gets me.
Oh my god, this is such a positive episode so far. How have you kept yourself motivated and or focused before quarantine and now during quarantine?
Before quarantine, honestly, I don't really remember how I was able to keep focus. As funny as that is, I think it was just kind of like I needed to be focused out of necessity because at that time I wasn't really doing things that I was fully passionate about. But it was kind of like I had a routine, So that was the thing that kept me focused. Like, well, this is what I have to do on this day at this time, so I'll just be there and I'll do that thing, I got that. Now it's kind of like I'm doing things that I'm passionate about now. So it's easier for me to split up my time. And also, I do have a Google Calendar now. A year and a half ago, I didn't, which was a big mistake as a student. And that has definitely really helped me just divide up my time. Also, after you work, definitely go out and play. Not like, like not like be safe right now, but anybody who's in my circle, I like to see them and I like to just chill, get off of my computer and get off of my phone because I'm on it all day now and just like have a healthy balance of work and play.
I think that play aspect is so, I don't want to say not talked about, because I think there's definitely this like movement in like mental health where that is being emphasized now. But it
Hmm.
was just like so disregarded for the longest time, and hence burnout always happens.
College burnout is so real. Like when you reach probably week like 8 or 9, it's like, all right, I'm done.
Me after week 1, man.
But yeah, I've been trying to balance it out really well because people like have this idea that if you're not like focused 100% of the time all the time, or you're not like, you know, like hustling all of the time or something, that you're not being a productive person. And I had to learn that I don't need to be doing things 24/7, and I don't need to be coming out with all of these new projects on my own time or for work or whatever to feel like I'm productive, you know? I feel like that's just a very toxic mentality. So I've gotten good at accepting that I am a productive person and I need to wind down sometimes, and that will help me be a better productive person, you know?
I came to that realization myself too. And I think like social media and just cloud culture or whatever just really makes it feel like you always have to be doing something all the time, every moment of your day, or else it's like, are you really living?
Yeah, it's the expectation is just really high. It's kind of like people expect, especially out of college students, to, you know, go to college, internship, work, you know, have a good social life and post about it. And that's just a lot in itself. Like, that's just too much. So I completely agree. It's kind of like there's a lot of pressure for us to do so many things, and it's kind of like, well, we're not like superheroes. We can't do all of these things at once. We're human beings. And I guess that's a good thing about college too, because it'll teach you about like balance, and it'll teach you how to handle things in a stressful environment.
That is very true. Yeah. Like that's the one thing I don't regret about going to college for. There's many other things I regret, but I mean, I'm glad that, you know, it makes you realize things by yourself.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Right. And I love the fact that you brought up this idea of, well, it's not finished, but it doesn't have to be finished like tomorrow, because I kind of always have this expectation that everything needs to be perfect. Like I have to be perfectionist, but it doesn't, not everything has to be perfect, you know? Like sometimes it's okay to just take a step back and just accept something for what it is at the moment.
Thanks for listening to this episode of MicroPROgressions, FIT Writing and Speaking Studio Tutors on Thinking and Thriving. If you're a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology, we offer one-on-one consultations with writing and speaking tutors to help you develop and present your ideas, written or spoken.
You can schedule online appointments at fit.mywconline.com and find us on Instagram at FIT Writes Speak.
Thanks for listening and tune in next time.